Hello, my name is Larry Dorff, Math Curriculum Consultant for Big Ideas Learning. Today we're going to take a look at using your Big Ideas Math Pupil Edition. The Pupil Edition is of course available in print form, but it's also available on our website, www.bigideasmath.com, and can be found under both the Students tab and also the Teachers tab. Here you can see that the pupil editions are all interactive. Students can view the pages of the book in a PDF format, but they can also listen to the words read to them in both English and Spanish. Now for today's demonstration purposes, we're going to use the red 7th grade book. However, you will find that the features that we look at today are also found in the green and the blue books. As you open up your student book, you will find that at the beginning of the book, there are some pages devoted to talking about our authorship team, Dr. Ron Larson and Dr. Lori Boswell, our teacher and student reviewers, as well as the table of contents for the books. But I'd now like to ask you to turn to Roman numeral 18 in your book, and we're going to take a look at a piece called How to Use Your Math Book. This page is an introduction on how to use a Big Ideas Math textbook. It shows and explains to the students the icons that are used throughout the book. On the opposite page, the students have an opportunity to do a scavenger hunt. The scavenger hunt helps familiarize the student with the features of the textbook. As students complete the scavenger hunt, they get a better feel for the flow of the program and can easily identify various features by their icons. If you turn the page, you're going to see the very first chapter opener in the book. Since I'm in the red 7th grade book, my chapter opener for chapter 1 is called Operations with Integers. The left page of each chapter opener lists the content for the upcoming chapter. Also, the students get an introduction to Newton and Descartes, who provide interest and humor for the topics being covered. They show that math can be fun. Both Newton, the dog, and Descartes, the cat, they love math. Newton takes almost everything in life literally. He doesn't have a sarcastic bone in his body. He approaches every task in life with innocence and enthusiasm. Now, Descartes, on the other hand, takes a considerably more cautious approach to life. On the right side of the page, you'll see that Big Ideas Math integrates review throughout the program, beginning with the chapter openers. Before each chapter, a skills review of previously learned topics is incorporated into the pacing guide. This helps students master topics they've studied before, as well as practice prior skills that are needed to be successful in the chapter. Examples help the students remember the things from earlier grades. Review shouldn't just be a list of questions. And when it's appropriate, specific strategies are given, such as the one you see under the words using order of operations. And they're given to help students review. The next page has on it the very first section in the book. And this one is called Integers and Absolute Value. Each section begins with a 2-page activity, and it's introduced by an essential question. Most of the activities show an example or a sample activity to help the students get started, as you can see here on page 2 with example number 1 before the activity listed as number 2. Students can record their work in the Record and Practice Journal, which is a consumable workbook that comes with the program. Students gain a deeper understanding of topics through a section called Inductive Reasoning and Exploration, which you can see in the middle of page 3. At the bottom of page 3, students develop communication and problem-solving skills by answering essential questions in the section called What is your answer? And finally, at the bottom of the page, it lists the practice exercises that are correlated to the skills that are learned in the activities that the students just completed. After the concept has been fully introduced with a full class period activity, just as the one that we just looked at, it's extended the following day through the direct instruction lesson. Lesson tutorials for the students are available at bigideasmath.com, which is listed here at the icon at the top of page 4. The beginning of the lesson starts with the key idea. The key idea box is used to explain a concept, a definition, a property, or perhaps even a procedure. Often multiple representations of the concepts are given. Key ideas can be broken up throughout the lesson. Students also have a key vocabulary terms box defined in the lesson and listed in the margin with page references. Students can also look up vocabulary online in the interactive multi-language glossary, which is found on the website, bigideasmath.com, and this feature is indicated by the little speaker icon. At the bottom of each page, you can see that each example has follow-up exercises that check the student's understanding of the concept. Side notes, as you see on the top of page 5, help the students when studying. This note reminds the students of a previously learned concept and can be identified by the green remember with the yellow light bulb next to it. The icon that says now you're ready helps students after they have grasped the concept of an example to see if they're ready to try the corresponding exercises in the exercise set. So for instance here, the On Your Own's listing number 5 through 8. Once the students have completed those, they're now ready to tackle exercises 20 to 25 from the exercise set. Each concept is accompanied by clear, stepped-out examples, which is a typical type of format that you see in a Dr. Ron Larson type of program. Real-life examples apply knowledge to real-world situations, such as in example 4 on page 5. Some examples also provide a nice cross-disciplinary reference for the student. After the students explore the concept in the activity and extend it in the lesson, they can now practice it with skills and applications in the exercises. Icons numbered 1, 2, and 3, such as the ones that you see in the middle of page 6, show which example to reference for help with a particular exercise. Every exercise includes error analysis to provide students with the opportunity to be a critical thinker. They're analyzing rather than rationalizing in order to solve the problem. If students need more help with their homework, it's available at bigideasmath.com, and the students are reminded of that with the icon at the top of page 6. The exercise set always starts with a vocabulary and concept check, which asks meaningful questions that verifies that a student knows the vocabulary and concepts, rather than just having them simply fill in the blanks. First page word problems are typically ones that we would call words wrapped around a skill exercise. If you turn to page 7, you will see that there are more thought-provoking problems on that particular page. And those exercises include rich, real-life problem solving. They're the kind of critical thinking problems that help students develop a deeper understanding of the problems, such as you see here on problems 41, 42, and 43. The most challenging exercises are indicated by a starburst, such as the one that you see here on page 7. These problems are designed to extend the concept to the next level. Every exercise set ends with what's called fair game review. Fair game review has multiple purposes. First, it's a spiral review. Second, it helps prepare the students for the next lesson. And lastly, it gives the students some standardized test practice. If you would now turn to the middle of the chapter, and if you're following along with me in the red 7th grade book, I'm on page 20. But in the middle of every chapter in each of the books in the series, you will see a study help page. Study help page includes graphic organizers. There are 10 different graphic organizers in each book of the program. And they're designed to reflect Robert Marzano's research in classroom instruction that works. Here students see an example of how to use the graphic organizer. They can make their own, or they can download editable graphic organizers off the website or off of their student CD to fill out on their own. You can go to, and the students can go to, bigideasmath.com and check out all of the graphic organizers that are used in the program. Also included within the chapter are 2 quizzes, one at the middle of the chapter to be done in conjunction with the study help page, and one at the end of the chapter. Content for each quiz focuses only on the lessons that immediately preceded that quiz. The exercises on the quizzes, as well as the chapter tests that we're going to look at in a moment, are of the same style and format as the exercises the students are used to seeing within the lessons. Students can also access a self-grading quiz online at the website, bigideasmath.com, to further access their progress. You'll notice here on the quiz that each exercise has a section reference for the material that's being assessed. At the end of every chapter, we've included chapter review. The chapter review provides a review of the key vocabulary, first of all, with page references, as you can see at the top of the first page here, page 41 in the red 7th grade book. Each lesson of the chapter has a review section with more examples and more practice problems for the students to use. Students can review vocabulary online using the interactive multi-language glossary, and again that appears at the icon at the top of page 41, so the students know that they can go to bigideasmath.com to do that vocabulary review. There is a chapter test at the end of every chapter to offer students help to assess their knowledge of key ideas from the chapter. There are additional assessment practices available again on the website at bigideasmath.com. Also at the end of each chapter are standardized test practices. The standardized test practice helps students prepare for the state test. It also serves as a cumulative review of all of the material taught up to and including that current chapter. It also includes Newton and Descartes, offering test-taking strategies. Different strategies may apply depending on the content and style of that particular test. Jumping ahead to the back of the textbook, we're going to take a look at two appendices, Appendix A, which is called My Big Ideas Projects, as well as Appendix B, which in this case is called Exploring Equations and Functions. Appendix B is a chapter that you can use to move forward with the students. So in the 6th and 7th grade books, those particular lessons will help your students move forward as they get ready to go into the next grade level. These are perfect for if you have already completed your state test and are looking for some material to work with your students at the end of the school year. In the 8th grade book, the blue book, we've included a financial literacy chapter so that you can work with those students on things such as checking accounts and savings, loans, credit cards, and so on. Appendix A, though, are called My Big Ideas Projects. I'd like to show you just a few of those and have you take a look at some of those Big Ideas projects. The first of the Big Ideas math projects are the literature projects. In 7th grade, it's the mathematics of Jules Verne. Next, you will see a math and history project, such as in this case, the mathematics of ancient Greece. Next is a math and art project, and this one talks about building a kaleidoscope. And lastly, you can see a science project. In this case, it's on classifying animals. And this concludes our tour of the Pupil edition for the Big Ideas Math Textbook Series. Again, my name is Larry Dorff, Math Curriculum Consultant for Big Ideas Learning, and I hope you all have a wonderful school year.